It was a quiet morning on my ranch, the kind where the sun spills over the horizon and paints the fields gold. I was sipping coffee in my kitchen, the smell of roasted beans mixing with the earthy scent of hay drifting through the open window. My name's Ethan Cole, a 42-year-old retired firefighter from Texas, and this 5-acre slice of heaven is my home. I bought it with every penny of my SA, VY, NGS, and a chunk of inheritance from my grandpa, making damn sure it was free from any HOA nonsense before I signed the deed. I moved here for peace, to raise rescue horses, grow my own food, and sit on my porch with a cold sweet tea after a long day. But that peace? It was about to get trampled. It all started when Laura Hensley showed up. She was the president of the Pinewood Estates HOA, a gated community 5 minutes down the road with cookie-cutter houses and plastic flowers. I first met her at a town farmer's market, her voice cutting through the crowd like a siren, wearing a sash that screamed HOA president like she was Miss America. "And you are?" she asked, eyeing my worn jeans and boots like they offended her. "Ethan Cole. I own the ranch out on Oak Ridge," I said. Her eyes lit up. "That ranch? With the big barn and long driveway? Oh, I've had my eye on that place for months. It's perfect for events." I raised an eyebrow. "It's not for sale." That was the first time I saw her smile tighten, like a snake coiling before it strikes. At first, Laura played nice. She sent messages through the town's app, little notes like, "Wouldn't Ethan's ranch be a dreamy spot for weddings?" Then came the emails. One landed in my inbox. "Ethan, on behalf of Pinewood Estates, we'd like to discuss purchasing your ranch for community events and luxury weddings." It's a win-win. I didn't reply. Then one morning, she showed up at my gate with glossy printouts of event center designs, balloons and fountains scribbled over my barn. "I've already talked to a decorator," she beamed. "It'll be stunning." I kept my voice steady. "Laura, I'm not selling. This is my home." She pouted, muttering about her daughter's wedding in 6 months, but I held firm. "I'm not in your HOA. I don't owe you anything." She stormed off, but I knew trouble was brewing. Trouble didn't wait long. A few weeks later, I caught drones buzzing over my barn. I thought it was kids until I shot one down with a slingshot and found a Pinewood Estate sticker on it. I called the sheriff, who chuckled. "You've got a live one, Ethan." Then came fake HOA notices in my mailbox stuff about rusted equipment and barn aesthetic violations, even though my land wasn't theirs to regulate. I ignored them until one morning I found 3 cars inside my gate. Laura was there with 2 guys in suits, strolling around like they owned the place. "What the hell?" I shouted. She grinned. "These are my wedding planners. Just imagine how amazing this could look." I escorted them out, called the sheriff again, and thought that'd be the end of it. I was wrong. It all exploded one day when my security cameras caught Laura at my gate. High heels clicking, pink blouse sparkling, screaming into the intercom. "I'm the HOA president, and I demand this man sell his ranch. We need it for my daughter's wedding." My jaw dropped as I watched from my kitchen, hitting record. She called 911, yelling, "If he doesn't sell, arrest him." The officer was stunned. "Ma'am, this is private property, not under your HOA. You can't call 911 for this." She didn't care, shouting about community property and how it was perfect for photos. Then she dialed someone else, screaming, "Send someone higher. I want this land seized." My dog, Rusty, started barking like crazy. I ran to the porch just as 2 black SUVs rolled up behind the police cruiser. Who was she calling? What the hell was happening? Laura's obsession only got worse. One night, I woke to find 3 of my horses loose, my barn lights flickering, and community land spray-painted in white across my red barn. The latch on the paddock was cut clean, and I found a Pinewood Estates volunteer badge in the dirt name. Jessica. My blood boiled. I pulled the security footage, and there she was, a young woman in a hoodie with bolt cutters, Laura trailing behind in a satin robe, sipping from a tumbler like it was a casual stroll. I drove to the sheriff's office with the footage, and he leaned back, eyes wide. "She was on your land." Again, he called his deputy, and they planned to pay Laura a VY sit. Jessica showed up at my gate the next day, nervous, holding a dish of cornbread. "I didn't know she'd do that," she stammered. "Laura said you'd agreed to a night tour for a surprise wedding shoot." I folded my arms. You believe that? She looked like she might cry. She told me to lie to the sheriff, but I can't. She's out of control. Jessica gave a statement to the sheriff, even handed over text from Laura about capturing the Barnes charm. I thought that might slow Laura down. It didn't. 3 days later, 2 city planning officers knocked on my door. Mr. Cole, we're reviewing your barn for unauthorized commercial use. It could be shut down pending investigation. I blinked. I raise horses, not events. They shrugged. Citizen complaint from Pinewood Estates. I knew it was Laura. She was trying to drown me in red tape. Then came her email. You should have sold when I asked nicely. Now you'll beg me to take it. My fists clenched. This wasn't just about land anymore. It was war. One night, I smelled smoke. I ran outside to find my east fence scorched, flames licking toward my barn. The sprinklers and a lucky breeze saved it, but the message was clear. I called 911, and the fire department found a melted Pinewood Estates survey tag in the ash. Sheriff Daniels called it Arizona felony. I sent every piece of evidence to my lawyer, Sarah Reed, a no-nonsense woman who wore cowgirl boots to court. This is retaliation, she said. We'll bury her in court if she keeps this up. Sarah filed a restraining order and a civil harassment suit, but Laura wasn't done. 2 days later, I woke to blaring pop music outside my gate. Laura had set up a full wedding photo shoot on the County Road balloons, arches, a photographer snapping away. She smirked at my camera. We're on public land, Ethan. Your barn's just a backdrop. I cranked my old barbecue speakers to drown her out with country rock, and she stormed off, screaming that I was ruining her daughter's moment. That night, my cameras caught her again, with a venue consultant holding blueprints saying, Phase 1 starts here. He'll break. I realized she wasn't just entitled, she was obsessed. The final straw came when a convoy of wedding rental trucks parked outside my gate tents, chairs, a dance floor, the works. Laura, in a headset, acted like she was running a festival. We're holding the wedding here this weekend. Like it or not, she told my intercom. I called Sarah. It's time to sue everyone. Sheriff Daniels and a fire marshal showed up, citing Laura for blocking the road, lacking permits, and unsafe equipment. Her permit was for a park, not my land. She screamed at my camera, This is your fault, Ethan. You're a bitter old man. But my cameras caught it all. Sarah filed an emergency court order with every piece of videos, photos, Jessica's statement, and one from Laura's daughter, Emily, who'd called off the wedding. Emily testified in court, head high, saying, My mother used my wedding to control Ethan's land. She lied about permits, bragged about forcing him to sell. It was never about me. The judge ruled in my favor. Dula $175,000 in damages, a 2-year restraining order, and fines for Laura's misuse of public resources. The county dismissed her zoning complaints, even praising my land's upkeep. Laura left the courthouse without a word. Pinewood Estates voted Laura out as HOA president, and vendors ditched their events. Emily moved to Arizona, free at last. Weeks later, she brought me a silver horseshoe great-grandfather's, saved from Laura's yard sale. This belongs with someone who knows what it means, she said. I nodded. I intend to keep this place just as it is. Months later, I hosted a town cookout. The sheriff brought ribs, Sarah brought cobbler, and Emily sent a $2,000 donation for my horses. As the sun set behind my barn, someone asked if I'd ever rent it for a wedding. I pointed to a girl feeding rusty brisket. If she wants to get married here someday, maybe. Anyone else? They'd better ask real nice. Now, I've got questions for you. Have you ever had someone try to steal what's yours just because they thought they could? What would you do if someone like Laura came for your home? Would you fight like I did or try to reason with her? Drop your thoughts below, share your city, hit that like button if you're with me, and subscribe to hear more stories like this. Let's talk about standing your ground because sometimes it's the only way to keep your peace.